They underestimated humanity. Until the full might of our armada was shown, the stars stretched across the darkness like tiny scattered diamonds. Humanity had reached farther into space than anyone had imagined a century ago. Colonies thrived on planets in the outer rim, mining valuable resources, building cities, and creating new lives far from Earth. For most humans, the universe felt like a vast playground full of opportunities, but it also held dangers they could not yet understand. Commander Ethan Blake stood on the bridge of the starship Horizon, looking at the holographic display of the nearby star systems. His brow was furrowed, his mind heavy. Reports had come in from the outer colonies. Strange energy readings, signals they could not trace, and glimpses of something moving too fast to identify. Lieutenant Clara Hayes, his young navigator, leaned over the console beside him. She was sharp, curious, and often fearless in the face of danger. "Commander," she said quietly, "these readings, they are not random. Something is out there and it's watching us." Ethan nodded slowly. "I know, Clara, that's why we need to be ready. We can't ignore it. The colonies are vulnerable. If this is an attack, we need to detect it before it reaches them." The crew moved efficiently around the bridge, their actions smooth and precise. The Starship Horizon had been assigned to patrol the outer rim, a region of space far from the safety of Earth, where communication was slow and backup was always hours or days away. Despite that, the humans here had trained for emergencies, and each crew member knew their role well. Suddenly, the sensors picked up a fleet of small ships approaching at extreme speed. They moved in a tight formation, almost like they were aware of every human movement. Clara's fingers flew across the console. "Commander, they're not using any standard propulsion. Their speed, it's beyond our calculations." Ethan's eyes narrowed. "Prepare for possible contact. Raise the shield frequency and put the ship on alert. Let's see who they are before they make the first move." The approaching fleet slowed just enough to be fully visible on the screen. Ethan's stomach tightened. They were alien, sleek metallic ships unlike anything humans had built. Their surfaces shimmered as if the metal itself was alive, reflecting the faint light of distant stars. The designs were strange and intimidating, filled with angles and curves that defied human engineering logic. A message appeared on the Horizon's communication screen. It was not spoken, just symbols moving and shifting in strange patterns. Lieutenant Hayes translated with a specialized algorithm. The message was clear: "You are insignificant, submit or perish." The crew froze. The words were chilling, yet strangely calm, as if the aliens had already decided that humans were beneath notice. Ethan clenched his fists. "So they think they can scare us," he muttered. "Clara, open a channel. Let them hear a human voice." He took a deep breath and spoke with authority. "This is Commander Ethan Blake of the United Earth Federation. We do not submit. We will not surrender. You will leave this sector immediately, or we will defend ourselves." There was silence for a moment. Then the aliens' ships shifted slightly, moving into formation. It was a clear sign they were preparing for a fight, but it was also slow, almost measured, as if they wanted humans to see their confidence. Clara studied the display. "Commander, they have never attacked humans before. This is different. They may underestimate us." Ethan's eyes softened for a moment as he looked at his crew. Young men and women, some barely out of training, now faced the reality of battle. "They think we are weak," he said quietly. "Let's make sure they realize how wrong they are." The Horizon turned toward the outer colonies. Messages had already been sent, but it would take hours before help could arrive. Ethan knew they had to protect these people with whatever they had. Captain Logan Pierce, in charge of one of the larger mining stations, would be expecting trouble soon. Meanwhile, on the mining station of Aurora 5, life went on unaware of the approaching threat. Engineers were repairing drills, miners carried heavy loads of ore, and children played in the small parks that dotted the station's corridors. Among them was a young engineer named Lily Turner. She was clever, inventive, and had a way of seeing solutions where others only saw problems. A sudden alert rang through the station. Red lights flashed and a recorded warning message played. "Warning, unknown fleet approaching. Take cover immediately." Lily grabbed a tool kit and ran toward the control room. She could hear the miners shouting orders, trying to organize evacuation and defense. "This isn't a drill," she shouted to a technician nearby. "Something's coming and it's fast." Back on the Horizon, Ethan ordered his crew to prepare for engagement. The humans were outnumbered, and the alien technology was far advanced. Still, he had faith in his people. Humans were unpredictable, creative, and bold in ways the aliens could not understand. That was their advantage. Lieutenant Hayes tracked the alien fleet. "Commander, they're scanning our colonies. They know what's there, but they still don't seem concerned. They think we can't fight." Ethan's jaw tightened. "Then we'll give them a surprise they won't forget." The horizon moved faster than the aliens expected. Ethan used asteroid fields and debris to mask their approach, taking a path that no conventional tactics would suggest. Humans were clever in improvisation, and Ethan trusted his crew to make use of every advantage. As they neared the outer colonies, Ethan contacted Captain Pierce. "Logan, this is Commander Blake. You may be the first to meet them. Stay calm, use your head, and don't underestimate them." Pierce's voice came over the comm. "Understood, Commander. We'll do what we can." "The miners are ready. We'll hold the line as long as possible." Ethan looked at Clara. "They are counting on fear. We'll give them courage instead. Let's move." The first skirmish began near a small mining station on the edge of the system. Alien ships fired beams that could cut through metal like paper, but humans used their environment to shield themselves. Mining equipment became barricades, and cargo ships were turned into mobile defenses. Lily Turner worked quickly, modifying the station's defenses to redirect power and create improvised shields. She had no formal training in warfare, only her understanding of machinery and engineering. Yet in moments of desperation, her skills made the difference between life and death. The aliens attacked with precision, expecting easy victory, but humans were not predictable. Ethan's crew used hit-and-run tactics, flanking maneuvers, and unexpected counterattacks. Small but clever moves slowed the alien advance, causing frustration among their commanders. Meanwhile, civilians on the mining station huddled in safe zones, guided by Pierce and his officers. The humans were scared, but they were also inspired by the courage of their leaders. Every small victory, every successful maneuver was a proof that humans would not simply bow down to fear. Clara scanned the battlefield. "Commander, they don't expect this. They think we are weak. Their confidence is their mistake." Ethan nodded. "Exactly. Let's make them regret it." Hours passed, and the initial wave of alien ships withdrew temporarily. They were assessing the humans, but something had changed. The aliens had underestimated human resolve, ingenuity, and courage. They had expected an easy conquest, but the humans had shown they would fight to survive. On Aurora 5, Lily Turner wiped sweat from her brow as she watched the alien ships retreat. "We did it, at least for now," she whispered. Around her, miners and engineers cheered, clapping each other on the back. Hope had returned, but everyone knew this was only the beginning. Ethan looked at the stars again. The Xyler would return, stronger and more determined. But humanity had made the first statement. They were not to be underestimated. Across the galaxy, humans were rising and the seeds of the future war were being sown. Clara turned to Ethan. "Commander, they will come back." Ethan smiled, though it was grim. "Yes, Clara. And next time we will be ready with more than just courage. We will show them the full strength of humanity." As the starship Horizon prepared to return to Earth with reports, the stars seemed a little brighter. Humanity had survived its first test, but the universe was vast and full of unknown dangers. Still, one thing was clear: no alien would ever think humans were weak again. The first battle had been won, but the war was just beginning. And humans, with their ingenuity, courage, and determination, were ready to meet the challenge. The calm after the first battle was short-lived. The outer colonies were on high alert. Humanity had proven it could resist the Xyler, but the aliens had not been defeated. They had only retreated for now. Commander Ethan Blake knew the next encounter would be even harder. On the mining station Aurora 5, Captain Logan Pierce oversaw the repair of damaged equipment and defense turrets. The station still bore the scars of the attack. Hull panels were scorched, and corridors were filled with smoke and debris. Yet the people moved with determination. Civilians helped wherever they could, and engineers worked tirelessly under Pierce's watchful eye. Lily Turner adjusted a makeshift power conduit she had installed overnight. It was a risky design, but it amplified the station's energy shields just enough to resist the Xyler's high-powered beams. She wiped sweat from her brow as alarms continued to flash. The aliens could strike again at any moment. "How much longer until reinforcements arrive?" a young miner asked nervously. Pierce shook his head. It could be hours, maybe a day. We can't rely on backup. We need to hold them off ourselves. Lily glanced at the control panels. Then we make the impossible possible. Let's show them humans can fight smarter, not just harder. Far away, in the starship horizon, Ethan Blake and Lieutenant Clara Hayes were studying the alien fleet's movements. The Xylar had retreated but were not gone. Sensors indicated they were regrouping near an asteroid belt, likely planning a more coordinated attack. "They're scouting," Clara said, pointing to the holographic display. "They want to understand us. They think humans are predictable." Ethan clenched his fists. "Then we give them a surprise they won't forget." He turned to the crew. "Prepare small strike teams. We'll use the asteroid belts and debris fields to our advantage. We need to hit them before they hit the colonies again." Meanwhile, Lily Turner had gathered a small group of engineers and volunteers. They worked through the night, creating traps and defensive mechanisms from mining equipment and station resources. Every turret, conveyor, and drill became part of a strategy to confuse and slow the Xylar forces. By morning, the aliens returned. Their ships glided silently through space, almost ghost-like, but they carried a deadly purpose. Ethan's fleet was small compared to the Xylar numbers, but the humans had something the aliens did not: ingenuity. The first wave of alien fighters approached Aurora 5. Logan Pierce's team waited in silence, hearts racing but minds focused. When the aliens fired, the energy beams were redirected by the station's modified shields, scattering the attack harmlessly into space. "Yes," Lily shouted, jumping with excitement. "It's working," Pierce barked orders. "Divert power to the turrets. Focus fire on their smaller ships first." The humans' attacks were unexpected. The Xylar had assumed humans would panic or retreat, but instead, every move was deliberate, every response calculated. The aliens were confused by the improvisation. Turrets fired from angles that should have been impossible, and cargo drones acted as decoys, drawing enemy fire away from critical areas. Lieutenant Hayes piloted a small strike ship alongside Ethan Blake, weaving through the asteroid field to intercept alien reinforcements. "Commander, they don't expect this. We're hitting them where they are weakest," Ethan smiled. "Exactly. Let's give them a lesson in underestimating humans." The Horizon and its small fleet launched precision attacks, striking alien ships with targeted beams and missiles. Engineers like Lily worked tirelessly, repairing damage almost as fast as it happened. Each human move showed creativity and courage, qualities the Xylar had never faced in other species. Some humans took extreme risks. Technician Noah Adams, a young man from one of the colonies, volunteered to board a disabled alien fighter. Using tools he had barely been trained on, he dismantled its control systems and sent it spinning into space. When he returned to the station, he was celebrated not as a hero, but as a symbol of what humans could do when faced with danger. Hours passed, and the battle raged on. The aliens were strong, their ships far more advanced, but they could not anticipate human unpredictability. Every strike and counterstrike tested both sides. The humans held their ground, refusing to yield, turning what should have been a massacre into a display of human resourcefulness. Ethan and Clara watched from the horizon, coordinating movements across the battlefield. "They're regrouping," Clara said. "Another wave is coming." Ethan nodded. "Then we hit them harder, use the debris fields to ambush them, force them to fight on our terms." The second wave of alien ships flew directly into the ambush. Hidden turrets, clever traps, and daring maneuvers tore through the enemy lines. Small human strike teams darted through space like shadows, dismantling ships and disabling weapons. The Xylar had expected an easy fight, but humans had made every move unpredictable. On the surface of Aurora 5, civilians and soldiers worked together. Children were safe in protected areas, while adults used mining equipment to reinforce barricades. Lily Turner oversaw the operations, coordinating her team and improvising constantly. "We're making them pay attention," she told her small team. "They thought humans were weak, they'll think twice next time." Despite the chaos, moments of bravery shone through. A pilot named Daniel Cooper maneuvered his damaged ship directly into a Xylar fighter, ramming it and causing both ships to spin out of control. He survived with minor injuries, but his action inspired others to act boldly. The battle stretched into the night. The Xylar began to retreat, but not without leaving destruction behind. Aurora 5 was battered, and humans had lost some ships and lives, but the message was clear. humanity would not bow to fear. They had fought with courage, intelligence, and determination, and even against overwhelming odds, they had stood their ground. When the fighting finally ended, Ethan and Clara met with Logan Pierce and Lily Turner via communication link. They were all exhausted but proud. "You did well," Ethan said. "The Xylar may return, but they now know humans are not easy prey." Pierce nodded. "We survived, we defended the colonies, that counts for something." Lily Turner smiled tiredly. "It counts for more than something, it counts for a lesson. Humans can fight in ways no one expects." Clara looked at Ethan. "Commander, this is only the beginning. They will come back stronger, more prepared. Are we ready?" Ethan clenched his fists, determination shining in his eyes. "We will be. We are smarter, more creative, and braver than they imagined. Humanity won this battle, but the war is just beginning. And next time we'll show them more than courage. We'll show them our strength." Across the galaxy and other human colonies, news of the resistance spread. Ordinary humans had done extraordinary things. People were inspired to contribute, to prepare, and to fight if needed. Humanity's spirit, ingenuity, and resilience were now evident to everyone, and especially to the Xylar, who had underestimated them at every turn. Ethan and his crew aboard the Horizon looked at the stars, knowing this battle was only a prelude. The universe was vast, dangerous, and unpredictable, but humanity had proven one undeniable fact: no alien could take them lightly. Not now, not ever. The humans celebrated in small ways, patched their ships, and tended to their wounded, but every heart knew the same truth. They had survived against superior forces. They had fought with intelligence and courage. And they had sent a message to the Xylar that would echo across the stars. Humanity was not to be underestimated. The sun rose over Aurora 5, illuminating a battered but unbroken colony. Children played near the repaired walls, miners returned to work, and engineers like Lily Turner continued their tireless efforts to strengthen defenses. Every action, every effort was a testament to human spirit. And in the distance, beyond the colonies and the stars, the Xylar fleet was regrouping. They had learned a lesson the hard way. Humans were unpredictable, resourceful, and far more dangerous than any species they had encountered. Ethan Blake and Clara Hayes looked at the approaching darkness of space, ready for whatever came next. Humanity had survived the first strike, but they knew the war with the Xylar was only beginning. And when the next battle came, humans would be ready to show the universe what they were truly capable of. Because humans were clever, humans were brave. And humans, no matter the odds, never gave up. After the first battle, humanity knew that the Xylar would return, and they would come with greater force. The attacks on the outer colonies had shown the humans that survival required more than bravery. It required preparation, coordination, and strength. Commander Ethan Blake, Lieutenant Clara Hayes, Captain Logan Pierce, and Engineer Lily Turner worked tirelessly to organize defenses, but it became clear that something bigger was needed. Earth itself became a hub of activity. The United Earth Federation called on every colony, every fleet, and every ship capable of carrying weapons, soldiers, or supplies. Messages traveled faster than ever through space, calling humans to unite against the common threat. For the first time, humanity truly moved as one. Admiral Jason Clark, a seasoned officer with decades of experience, took command of the operation. He had seen smaller alien conflicts before, but nothing on the scale that the Xylar threat promised. From his command ship, he studied star maps, fleet positions, and the resources of every human colony. He spoke to commanders on every front, including Ethan Blake. "We need to show them that humanity is more than a single planet or a few isolated colonies," Clark said firmly. "We must prepare a fleet capable of striking anywhere they appear at any time. We must be ready to end this before they reach Earth." Ethan nodded. "We can gather every ship willing to fight, but we'll need strategy. The Xylar are smart. They won't make the same mistakes twice." Clara Hayes added, "We've already seen what humans can do in smaller battles. Imagine what we can do if the entire Armada moves as one." Across the outer colonies, human engineers and pilots worked to repair damaged ships and retrofit civilian vessels into combat-ready units. Lily Turner traveled from colony to colony, coordinating the technical modifications and teaching crews how to use unfamiliar technology. Her ingenuity, first seen at Aurora 5, became legendary among the fleet. At one colony, a group of young pilots practiced maneuvers using old freighters, turning them into mock battleships. Ava Mitchell, a talented navigator, noticed patterns in the Xylar attacks and suggested using them to predict the aliens' next moves. Her idea was taken seriously, and soon simulations and drills incorporated her strategies, combining speed, deception, and adaptability. The fleet that formed was called the Orion Armada, a collection of hundreds of ships of all sizes. Some were sleek battle cruisers built for speed, others were massive carriers capable of holding troops and supplies. Even converted freighters had a role to play, armed with turrets and clever traps to confuse the Xylar. Ethan Blake took command of one division, with Clara Hayes as his second-in-command. Logan Pierce led a group of strike teams, and Lily Turner remained on the engineering hub, coordinating repairs and modifications. Each leader understood that the upcoming battles would test humanity in ways no single colony could prepare for. Weeks passed as the Orion Armada moved into position near the outer rim. Scouts reported the Xylar were preparing their fleet as well. The humans could see it in the asteroid fields, moving ships that glimmered in the faint starlight. The aliens had learned from their earlier encounter, and now they were cautious but determined. Ethan and Clara studied the incoming data. "They are gathering in 3 main groups," Clara said. "They're planning a coordinated strike. If they reach Earth, they could cause massive destruction." Ethan's face hardened. "Then we must strike first. We can't wait for them to make the first move." "Humans need to fight smart and fast." Admiral Clark's voice came over the communication channel. "All divisions report. We are ready. The Xylar will learn that humans are not to be underestimated." The Orion Armada moved in tight formation, each ship assigned a specific role. The smaller fighters were grouped into squadrons to flank and harass enemy ships, while larger vessels prepared concentrated firepower for key targets. Supply ships and repair units stayed in the rear but were heavily protected. Every decision was calculated to maximize strength and efficiency. On one of the outer colonies, Lily Turner worked around the clock. She had devised a system that could redirect energy from multiple ships to create temporary shield walls, capable of protecting entire divisions from the Xylar's strongest beams. "It's risky," she told her team, "but it may give us the edge we need." Humanity's preparation extended beyond weapons. Civilians were trained for emergencies, colonists learned basic defense strategies, and every station was reinforced with makeshift barriers, turrets, and energy fields. Humans adapted faster than the Xylar could anticipate. Finally, the day came. Scouts reported the Xylar fleet advancing toward a strategic human colony near the Orion Belt. The aliens were cautious, their ships glinting with menace, but their confidence remained. They had believed humans would crumble under pressure, but what they saw was a fleet ready for war. Ethan Blake addressed his division. "This is what we have trained for. Remember what we did at Aurora 5. Use your brains, your skills, and your courage. Be unpredictable. Fight together. Humans have always been underestimated. Let's show them why that is a mistake." The first wave of Xylar ships approached, confident in their superiority. They unleashed energy beams and missiles, but humans had anticipated the attack. Small strike teams darted through asteroid fields, avoiding fire and creating chaos in the alien formation. Turrets fired from angles no alien could predict, and the shield walls devised by Lily Turner absorbed devastating attacks. Clara Hayes piloted a fast strike ship alongside Ethan, weaving between asteroids and striking Xylar vessels. "Commander, they are faltering," she shouted. "We're hitting them where they are weakest." Ethan's eyes gleamed with determination. "Keep pressing. Don't let them recover." Strike teams led by Logan Pierce moved with precision, hitting critical points in the enemy formation. Human ships collided with Xylar fighters when necessary, disabling systems or forcing them to retreat. Even converted freighters played their part, firing turrets and dropping decoys to confuse enemy targeting systems. Back on Earth, Admiral Clark monitored the battle through sensors and communications. He saw the humans' ingenuity unfold in real time. "They're doing it," he said quietly. "Humans are proving that courage and intelligence can match any technology." The Xylar commander, watching through his own sensors, grew frustrated. "These humans, they adapt too fast," he said to his officers. "They should be easy prey." They should have surrendered. Ethan's fleet did not let up. Each human ship acted as part of a larger strategy, combining offense and defense in ways the aliens could not anticipate. Clara's navigation skills and Ava Mitchell's predictive strategies allowed the humans to strike before the Xylar could react, turning the battlefield into a maze the aliens could not control. On Aurora 5, Lily Turner's modifications worked flawlessly. Shield walls absorbed beams that could have destroyed entire stations, and redirection conduits allowed multiple ships to combine power against single enemy vessels. Humans fought not just with courage but with strategy, making every move count. Hours of fierce fighting passed. The Xylar ships began to break formation, confusion spreading through their fleet. They were strong, but humans had proven they were unpredictable, creative, and willing to take risks no alien commander would have attempted. Ethan watched as the Xylar retreated in disarray. "It's working," he said. "They are learning what humans are capable of, but the fight isn't over yet," Clara smiled. "We've shown them that humans can be clever, brave, and strong. That's a lesson they won't forget." Admiral Clark's voice came through again. "All divisions report status." One by one, human units reported minimal losses and maximum damage inflicted on the Xylar. Civilians had been protected, and colonies remained secure. Humanity had held the line, and they had done it together. Ethan looked at his crew and the ships under his command. "This is only the beginning," he said. "The Xylar will return, and next time they will bring everything they have. But we've shown them a truth they cannot ignore. Humanity is strong, resourceful, and united. They underestimated us once. They will not make that mistake again." Even as the Orion Armada regrouped and repaired minor damages, the humans were already preparing for the next stage. Engineers like Lily Turner continued improving defenses, pilots practiced daring maneuvers, and leaders planned strategies that combined intelligence, creativity, and courage. Every human knew that the coming battle would be bigger, more dangerous, and more decisive than any they had faced before. But for the first time, they also knew something crucial: they could win. Not just survive, but fight with purpose and skill that the Xylar could not predict or counter. In the darkness of space, as stars twinkled like distant fires, the Orion Armada moved as one. Humanity was no longer on the defensive. They were ready to take the fight to the Xylar. They were ready to show the universe the full power of human ingenuity and courage. And far beyond the asteroid belts, the Xylar watched in disbelief. These humans had faced superior technology, adapted quickly, and struck back with precision. They had survived where others would have fallen. The Xylar realized that their arrogance had been their first mistake. Humanity was not weak. Humanity was dangerous. Ethan Blake and Clara Hayes looked toward the stars, toward the unknown fleets of the Xylar, and knew the time was coming when humans would no longer defend. They would attack. Humanity would rise, united, clever, and fearless. The Orion Armada was only the beginning, a signal to the galaxy that humans could never be underestimated. The universe was vast, full of danger, but humanity had grown stronger, smarter, and more determined. They had proven one undeniable truth: when humans fought together with courage and ingenuity, no enemy could stand in their way. And the war for the galaxy had only just begun. The day had come. After weeks of preparation, the Orion Armada was ready. Every human ship, every pilot, and every engineer had a role to play. Commander Ethan Blake stood on the bridge of the horizon, watching the stars. Beyond them, the Xylar fleet appeared, larger and stronger than anything humanity had faced before. Lieutenant Clara Hayes checked the sensors again. "Commander, they've brought everything they have. They're confident, but we know their weaknesses. This is our chance." Ethan's jaw tightened. "Yes, Clara, this is the moment humanity proves what it can do. We've prepared for this. We fight smart, we fight together, and we show them they were wrong to underestimate us." Admiral Jason Clark's voice came over the comm. "All divisions hold formation. Remember your training. We strike as one, and we strike hard. Today, humanity will make history." The Xylar ships moved forward, their energy weapons glowing ominously. Their commander had expected humans to cower or surrender, but instead they were met with a fleet ready for battle. It was larger than anything the Xylar had imagined, full of humans who were clever, courageous, and united. Ethan turned to his crew. "This is it. Stick to the plan. Use the asteroids, the debris, and every advantage we have. Be unpredictable. Strike where they are weakest." Clara piloted the horizon, weaving between asteroids. as smaller human fighters darted in and out to harass the enemy. Pilot Daniel Cooper led one squadron, performing daring maneuvers that the Xylar could not anticipate. His courage inspired every human ship nearby. On the ground, engineers like Lily Turner coordinated the redirection of energy shields, boosting the protection of the fleet's largest ships. Every move was calculated, every system optimized. Human ingenuity was the edge that the Xylar could not match. The first shots rang out. The Xylar fired energy beams that could slice through metal like paper, but the human fleet was ready. Shields held firm, and human ships dodged, weaved, and counterattacked. Small strike teams targeted weak points in the alien formation, causing confusion and breaking the cohesion of their fleet. Ethan piloted a strike team alongside Clara, approaching a key Xylar command ship. "We take them out, we disrupt their fleet," he said. "Clara, you take the lead, I'll follow," Clara nodded. "Roger that, Commander." They darted between asteroid fields, using the rocks for cover, and struck the command ship with precision. Energy beams tore through the Xylar defenses, causing the alien vessel to shudder and spin out of control. The Xylar fleet hesitated. For the first time, they were unsure. Meanwhile, Logan Pierce and his strike teams boarded smaller alien ships, using boarding pods to infiltrate and disable enemy systems. Daniel Cooper rammed a damaged fighter into another Xylar ship, destroying both, a risky move that paid off. The Xylar commander, observing from his flagship, could not understand how humans could fight with such courage and creativity. Across the battlefield, Ava Mitchell's predictive algorithms guided human ships, showing them the best paths to strike and avoid fire. "They can't anticipate us," she said, her voice calm but intense. "We are always one step ahead." Lily Turner, on a nearby station, monitored energy flows and shields. "Redirecting power to the front lines now," she said. "We'll give them the protection they need to finish this." As the battle raged on, humans fought not only with weapons but with brains. They used the asteroid fields to hide, lured the Xylar into traps, and turned every weakness into an advantage. The aliens were powerful, but they could not match human ingenuity, bravery, and coordination. Hours passed, and the battle intensified. The Xylar tried to regroup, but humans struck again and again. Ethan's strike team moved toward the central command fleet. "This ends now," he said. "We hit their center and we break them." Clara piloted the horizon through a hail of enemy fire, using every evasive maneuver they had practiced. Human fighters flanked them, striking Xylar ships from every angle. The Xylar were overwhelmed, their formations breaking apart under the relentless human assault. On the ground, Lily Turner coordinated energy bursts that disabled several alien ships at once. Her quick thinking saved human ships from destruction and allowed Ethan and Clara to focus on the main target. The Xylar commander finally realized the truth. These humans were not just fighters, they were clever, united, and fearless. "They adapt too quickly," he growled. "We cannot control them. They are dangerous." Ethan's team reached the core of the Xylar fleet. Missiles and energy beams struck the largest alien ships, and boarding teams sabotaged systems from the inside. The Xylar commander's flagship was hit with a concentrated barrage of human firepower. Smoke and sparks erupted across the vessel, and it spun helplessly in space. "Commander, we've done it," Clara said, her voice steady but filled with awe. "Their command ship is disabled." "The rest of the fleet is in disarray." Ethan smiled grimly. "Good, now we finish this, push them back, leave no doubt who rules this battle." Human ships advanced, striking the remaining Xylar vessels. Strike teams boarded ships, disabling weapons and engines. Turrets fired with precision, and fighters darted through the chaos. Every move showed human skill and courage, turning what seemed impossible into a clear victory. Finally, the Xylar fleet began to retreat. Ships fled in disarray, damaged and confused. The humans pursued only briefly, not to destroy every ship, but to make sure the aliens understood their defeat. On Aurora 5 and other colonies, civilians cheered as news spread of the humans' victory. Captain Logan Pierce returned to the stations, tired but proud. "We did it," he said simply. "We really did it." Lily Turner smiled, exhausted but elated. "We didn't just survive," she said. "We showed them what humans can do. They underestimated us, and that was their biggest mistake." Ethan Blake and Clara Hayes regrouped on the horizon. The battlefield was quiet now, except for the distant glow of retreating Xylar ships. "It's over for now," Ethan said. But we've proven something important. Humanity is strong, clever, and united. We are not to be underestimated. Clara nodded. We've shown them that courage, ingenuity, and teamwork are more powerful than raw technology alone. Admiral Clark's voice came over the comm. All divisions report. Humanity has held the line. The Xylar have retreated. Today, we have proven the strength of our species. Ethan looked at the stars, knowing the war might not be fully over, but for now, humanity had won. We've survived, we've fought, and we've shown the universe our true might. And next time, if they come, we'll be even stronger. Across the colonies, across every human settlement, the message was clear. Humans were clever, courageous, and united. Even the Xylar would not dare to underestimate them again. Children played in the parks of Aurora 5, miners returned to work, and engineers continued to strengthen defenses. Humanity had faced the impossible and had won. They had fought together, used every skill and idea at their disposal, and emerged victorious. Commander Ethan Blake, Lieutenant Clara Hayes, Captain Logan Pierce, Lily Turner, Daniel Cooper, Ava Mitchell, and every human in the Orion Armada had proven one thing. No matter the odds, no matter the enemy, humans would fight. And when humans fought, they would not just survive, they would triumph. The stars sparkled above, and the universe seemed a little different. The Xylar would never forget this battle. They had faced humans and learned that courage, intelligence, and unity could overcome even the most advanced technology. Ethan Blake stood on the horizon's bridge, looking at the distant planets and stars. Humanity has grown stronger today, he said quietly. And the galaxy will remember it. They underestimated us once, and they will never do it again. Clara Hayes placed a hand on his shoulder. We've shown the universe our true strength, Commander, and the future is ours to shape. The Orion Armada returned to Earth and the colonies, damaged but victorious. Humans repaired what had been broken, celebrated what had been won, and prepared for the challenges that lay ahead. For the first time, the galaxy knew that humanity was not weak, not insignificant, and never to be underestimated. And far across the stars, the Xylar fleet retreated, humbled and wary. They had faced humans and learned a vital lesson. Humanity was clever, brave, and united. Humanity had risen, and their full might had been shown. The war was far from over, but one truth would echo through the universe forever. Humans could not be ignored, humans could not be defeated easily, and humans would always fight with courage and intelligence. Because humanity was unstoppable.